Okay, we're back. I was trying to play us in some cool walk-up music, but it wasn't working. YouTube was making me watch a commercial instead, so fuck that. Um, Having said that, best walk-up music. What do you think?
Oh, let me think. David Wright has really good walk-up music. I don't know if you've ever been to a Mets game, but it's that song. I Got Five on it. You know, he's number 5.
Ah.
That's pretty good.
I was watching a game. I forget what game I was watching. Do you know that Jay-Z song that's like Forever Young?
Yeah.
The guy is walking up to that, and he walks up to the plate, to that like Forever Young. I want to be forever young.
Yeah.
And I keep being like, what are you saying? As you get up to try to like hit a baseball, like, are you sad about getting old and dying? Is that?
Well, I actually love this game, and I have a ton of walk-up songs. But this also might be a fun like Twitter game for people if they wanted to like.
That's a good idea.
Know, send us a tweet or a comment or whatever about what your walk-up song is.
What would be the best walk-up? Also, though, what's the worst walk-up songs? I feel genre-wise, you gotta do like metal or like gangster rap.
Yeah.
And if you don't,
there's like a lot of like awesome like Latin music from these Dominican guys. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some like serious country music too, which is pretty fun. Those good old boys from Mississippi who just flat and horrible country music.
Yeah. All right. So Twitter, if you're listening on Twitter, tweet us best/worst walk-up music.
Right, and we'll play them on the next podcast.
Yeah.
The best ones that we think are the best, we'll play them on the next podcast.
Love it. Great idea.
We were talking. What would yours be?
What?
What would yours be?
Whew. Bitch Better Have My Money by Rihanna.
Dude, I don't know if they'd let you play that in a ballpark.
Would they censor it, or is it just too hot?
I think they would probably censor it.
Yeah,
I think there's probably a list that you can choose from. You know what I mean?
Like a karaoke list?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that would be a good one.
Yeah.
I just don't think that you can blast, songs that have the word bitch in them over the loudspeakers.
It's a family affair.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was a kid on my brother's college baseball team whose walk-up song was "It's Raining Men," and that was really good.
That would be pretty cool. That's a nice one. Yeah, I'd be into that.
Yeah. Kind of changes the tone of everything all of a sudden.
Sure, and is there any, it's a psychology game, right? If you're a hitter, and you come up and you're a badass hitter, you need to make that the pitcher a little nervous, a little off his game. I think It's Raining Men would do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought that some seriously gothic, terrifying classical music,
Oh, Phantom of the Opera. What if you had Phantom of the Opera playing when you walk up? That would be cool.
Some sort of Dracula soundtrack, you know what I mean? Because that shit's pretty intimidating.
Does anybody have screamo or just hardcore double bass?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think that you can get too extreme with it. I think that it has to be kind of a, middle of the road sort of thing.
Yeah. This is a family business. There are children.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
There's children here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hopefully not listening to this podcast. If there are, I apologize for my language. But at the ballpark, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah. So we were talking a little bit about California baseball before the break. Dodgers, Giants. Dodgers still have the lead in the NL West. Giants, well, they both got swept. Dodgers got swept by the Pirates, and Giants got swept by the Cubs.
I think that one of them would want to capitalize on that. But
yeah, you would think so, right? Yeah. Gee, maybe we can.
Giants are still 3 games back of the Dodgers.
Giants.
So it's close.
So it's close. Yeah, Giants are 3 games back of the Dodgers. However, the other teams are all below 500. Arizona Diamondbacks, San Diego Padres, and Colorado Rockies. And I think I can assume this could be our first official dump on the ump position. Let me know if you agree or not.
Okay.
The Arizona Diamondbacks are the most useless franchise in baseball.
Yeah, I can get behind that. I think that the NL West in general is the most useless division in baseball, mostly because I normally can't even remember that they exist. They kind of just, it's kind of like one of those things that disappears unless you're like not looking directly at it.
Schrodinger's baseball division.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It may or may not exist, but you'll never know until, or maybe it's both until you look at it.
But the Giants have won 3 of the last 5 World Series.
I know.
Yeah, and you just forget. Oh yeah.
It's like, oh right, who won the World Series last year?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay, so I was reading. I was reading a little bit. Okay, so the NL West in 1969.
Right.
AL and NL split into West and East, right? The first time you have divisions. And I was reading about this. So the Chicago Cubs refused to go into the Western Division.
Why?
Because they wanted to still have their big market games against Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and New York.
Okay.
It was basically access to market issue, and they were afraid that they were in the Western Division, they wouldn't get to play against the big city clubs, right?
They'd fade into obscurity.
They'd fade into obscurity.
Yeah.
And they were one of the better teams
which
in
they kind of have.
Which they kind of have, exactly. And they were one of the better clubs in the NL in the 60s, and the other one was the Cardinals. And the Cardinals were like, well, if the Cubs don't go into the West, we sure as hell aren't going to go into the West either. So you actually had this weird division where, because St. Louis and Chicago refused to go into the West, the Atlanta Braves and the Cincinnati Reds had to.
Oh.
Even though they're
further east.
They're further east. So your original 5 NL West teams were Giants, Dodgers, Houston Astros, Cincinnati, and Atlanta. That was your original NL West.
Okay.
So the whole thing began as an affront to logic and human decency.
Oh, right. That was the dry league, right?
No, it's just, I don't know. Was it? That'd be cool. That Atlanta...
American League, National League, I think originally the difference was that you couldn't buy beer at National League ballparks.
Really?
Like league, yeah. I think I remember that from that Ken Burns baseball documentary.
Well, Ken Burns, I guess he would know.
That's true. But,
I'm going to Google that.
What's that?
I'm going to Google that. That's interesting. Yeah.
Or you could wait until people correct us on
correct us.
Comment section. Yeah.
Mostly this podcast is us going to be stating absurd things and saying anybody called bullshit on us. Yeah. But now it's Arizona, San Diego, Colorado, which are all pretty recent additions to Major League Baseball. The anti-saloon league.
Right. Exactly. Anti-saloon.
Yeah.
Then that's probably why I don't care for the National League to this day, honestly.
Exactly.
Without even knowing it, that's why.
That's why. Okay, but here's the thing. The Arizona Diamondbacks won the World Series in 2001.
Right. That was awesome.
They beat the Yankees right after 9/11, right after Derek Jeter hit a November home run, right? Like that was the end of the like Yankees dynasty was losing to Kurt Schilling and the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Randy Johnson.
And Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
Who, this is just my thing. I feel like every good pitcher now, an announcer is like, he reminds me of a young Randy Johnson.
Right.
I feel like every like good pitcher gets compared to Randy Johnson. You know.
Well, he was a great pitcher.
Right. It's not a knock on Randy Johnson.
Really had possibly the greatest nickname in all of professional sports. Do you remember his nickname?
No.
He was the big unit.
Yeah. I was going to say tall guy. I was like, I knew it had something with him being super tall.
Yeah. They called him the big unit.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I feel like they probably only compare left-handed pitchers to Randy Johnson, right? Wasn't he a lefty?
Maybe. Is Chris Sale a lefty? Every
Chris
time.
Sale is a lefty.
Yeah, okay. So that's what they're doing with Chris Sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They always compare Clayton Kershaw to Sandy Koufax.
Why?
I don't know. He was a
Dodger.
Dodger pitcher.
Because he's a Dodger.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clayton Kershaw got left up by the Pirates.
Yeah, I don't care for that guy.
Yeah.
Actually, I feel the same way about him as I do about the Dodgers, which is like totally ambivalent.
Right.
But to get back to the Arizona Diamondbacks,
yeah,
I don't really care much about them at all either. Because they're part of that whole NL West like mist land that I never pay attention to.
Maybe,
but it just seems to me more so than any team in Florida, the Arizona Diamondbacks are a team that is just playing spring training all year round. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they're not a real baseball team.
You're just playing Cactus
League. They're like a split squad club, you know?
Yeah. Maybe I'll put up a poll on the website. Which MLB team is the last team you think of?
Yeah. Probably the Diamondbacks.
Probably the Diamondbacks, yeah. Maybe the Colorado Rockies, but the Colorado Rockies, they play at Coors Field, and they've got the whole, like, there's no air pressure, so everybody hits home runs. Everybody hits home runs all the time.
Well, they have different balls up there.
Really?
You know that?
I did
not know. They have, like,
that.
dead balls that they play with up there to, like, help counteract that.
In practice or in the game?
No, in games.
How is that legal?
I don't know, dude.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Here's something I was thinking about. I don't know if this is interesting at all or not. Every baseball field is a different, like, size, right? Like, once you get into the outfield, they're all unique, right?
Right.
So the distance to hit a home run is different in every baseball field, right? And, if you go to, like, a minor league park or, like, a high school, if you're playing baseball, if you're playing, like, backyard baseball, right? Like sandlot baseball. A home run is a home run because it takes too goddamn long to, like, climb over the fence, run and get the ball, climb back and try to get the guy out.
Right.
So you just give up and you're like, fine, you get a home run.
Right.
What if we made that actually the rule in Major League Baseball?
Like you could climb into the bullpen and grab the ball and throw it back in?
Yeah. And because one thing I hate is when the ball, like, touches the very top of the outfield wall and they have to, like, go to review to see if it's officially a home run or not, right? Yeah. If the outfielder has the ball in his hand, it is not a home run.
Right.
He's got the ball. You've got to figure out a way to get home.
Right.
And I think this would be really interesting because suddenly you would have a huge home field advantage.
Right, because then the fans get the ball and, like, chuck it out of the stadium. Yeah.
Right, or chuck it back. If the other guys hit a home run, the fans can just give you the ball, and it's a live ball. I think we'd be adding a whole new angle to baseball. It'd make it much more exciting to watch, and there'd be a real home field advantage.
We can add this to our league, the MLB
Yeah.
baseball league that only plays 1-inning games, and every ball is in play no matter what. And there's no such thing as fan interference.
Yes, that's key. There's got to be no such thing as fan interference.
Right. So, like, you'd be the home team. You would just give a whole bunch of tickets to, like, all the high school and college baseball players in the outfield in the area so that they could just catch the ball in the stands and cut off man directly from left field seat, you know?
Oh, yeah, that would be huge. You'd have a whole, you'd have an entire black market of, like, of minor league and high school baseball players.
Right, just sitting in the bleachers.
Yeah. And then you'd be a total pariah if you were like, no, I want to keep my home run ball.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, only if it was your own team.
If your team hit it, you keep it, and your team scores a home run.
Oh, speaking of which, did you see in the Toronto game, the Toronto Yankees game?
Yeah, Teixeira, right?
No, Bautista hit a home run, right? Uh-huh. And the fan threw it back onto the field,
and
it hit Brett Gardner in the back of the fucking head.
I did see that. That was awesome.
Yeah, it was so good.
I saw Teixeira plays first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Teixeira trying to catch a foul ball, and goes into the stadium, and goes into the stands, and a Yankees fan like got in his way, and Teixeira got pissed and was gonna like beat this dude. And this poor guy, like, it's like, whatever, like a middle-aged Latino guy, like, with like a Yankees jersey and like a backwards Yankees hat. And the poor guy is like, oh shit, sorry, don't like beat me down, angry Mark Teixeira. Because I've gotten the way of your like improbable foul ball catch.
Right.
Basically, my point is Mark Teixeira's a dick.
He is a dick.
Yeah.
Oh, he plays for the Yankees. Mm. There's something about that team. It's like as soon as you get put on that Yankees uniform, you look like a kind of squarish middle-aged man.
Mattingly, shave off those sideburns.
Get those sideburns. Still better than playing for Steinbrenner.
Dead Steinbrenner, zombie Steinbrenner. Yeah. So good. So we took care of that one.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I mentioned this on the air. Yeah, we had 12 minutes left. Cool. All right. So the White Sox got swept over the weekend by Kansas City. They lost every game by 1 run, which, good job, little leaguers. Try hard.
Right. Still gets ice cream.
Yeah, everyone gets ice cream. So they're playing, and I'm watching the game, and I think it was Saturday. I'm not really paying attention. And Kansas City's up to bat, and the Kansas City guy makes a running error, and the White Sox catch him in a pickle.
Uh-huh.
And it's like the 5th inning or something like that. It's not a big deal. But for the first time, I, like, sit up in my chair and am like, yeah, get him. And, like, it was really exciting to watch them, like, get this guy caught in a pickle, and they got him out. And it was like, I don't know, I cheered. And so this is what got me thinking, like, outside of game context, what is the most exciting play in baseball?
Well, I think that there's a lot of really exciting things about baseball, and people who don't like baseball or don't understand baseball are like, oh, it's just such a boring game. But the thing about baseball, unlike other, like basketball or football, these timed games where it like comes down like the last 2 minutes, it's like kind of, it can be exciting if the game's close. Baseball, rather than that, has this kind of like these kind of like flashes of like super intense excitement.
Yeah.
Where your heart goes from like your regular beat rhythm to cardiac arrest in like half a second.
Yeah.
The pickle is like one of the more sustained plays in baseball, I feel like. But, a grand slam home run for me is like one of the most exciting things in sports in general. Triple play. I think you said that the Mariners pulled a triple play last week.
Too bad Jesse's not here.
That never happens and is super exciting.
I should have looked this up. They also, the way they did it is something that's like never happened before. It hasn't happened in a really long time because it was another running error. Like the guy stopped at third when he shouldn't have stopped at third, so it turned into something weird like a 3-6-6 triple play or something like that. Right. It was like I don't know. Look it up. It's something that hasn't happened in a really long time, which is why triple plays are cool.
Right. I'm like a real big fan of the stolen base.
Yes, me too.
I'm a big fan of the stolen base and of the caught stealing.
Yes, caught stealing is
like
great.
Really exciting. You know what I mean?
And I feel bad about that. Because like in general, stealing bases is like bad strategy. Like most of the time, you should not try to steal a base, but it's so much fun. What?
Yeah.
It's so much fun. But you also have, and I think this is something, kind of to what you were just talking about, the showdowns in baseball, right? Because it's not just the stolen base. It's pitcher looks to first, throws to first, safe. Right. Pitcher looks to first, throws to first, safe.
Right.
He's getting a lead. Oh, he comes back. And then the pitcher pitches, and there he goes, And
he steals second.
Right. Yeah.
And the pitcher knew he was going to steal.
Yeah.
The catcher knew he was going to steal, and he just fucking did it anyway. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's awesome. That's so great.
The other thing, and this is, what to play in baseball. Because one of the best things in baseball is, like, the drag out at bat.
Oh, yeah, like the 10-12
the 10-12 pitch at bat, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just, like, and that's where it's, like, from an outsider perspective, I could see that being super boring because it's, like, 8 foul balls.
Right, yeah.
And then, but it's so dramatic when it's happening. I want to mention this. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday of last week. White Sox are playing Tampa Bay, and they won the game on a walk-off walk.
Oh, I hate that. That's such a bummer, dude.
Well, it was fun because they won, but.
Yeah, well, no, I know. I mean, but even when the Red Sox win that way, it's still like I feel kind of like cheated. You know what I mean?
Why?
Because like that's the opposite of like that instant like adrenaline rush that baseball gives you in certain plays. That's like bases are loaded. It's the bottom of the ninth inning, and score's tied. It's really tense. What's gonna happen? And then the dude walks him, and it's like, oh, I guess we go home now, Like, no one even runs. It's like, just drops home, game over,
Yeah, I think we may be touching on something essential about baseball there. Yeah, no, it's a very good point. So, and in the situation, it was hilarious. So, tie game, bottom of the 10th. Shit happens. White Sox have a guy on third with 2 outs. With, like, the 4 or 5 guys up to bat. I think it was Abreu and Adam Eaton. I think. I'm not sure. And so the Rays intentionally walk 2 guys. Yeah. They intentionally walk a guy to put him on first and then intentionally walk the next guy to fill the bases. Yeah. Because it's bottom of the 10th, 2 out. It's like any hit wins, any out ends the inning.
Right.
But they didn't count on the unintentional walk to the third guy.
Oh, that's the worst. I once saw, well, actually I've seen this a couple times. I saw it once with Barry Bonds. and I saw once with Manny, or a couple times with Manny Ramirez, where teams of like both instances, the team like Red Sox were down like 3 or 4 runs, and the Giants were down like 3 or 4 runs. Bases are loaded, and they intentionally walk Barry Bonds or Manny Ramirez to like drive in a run intentionally.
Oh, they intentionally drive in a run.
Right.
Oh, okay.
They
Great.
intentionally walked in a run rather than pitching to.
Right, give up a grand slam.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, yeah, maybe the intentional walk is my least favorite play in baseball. Like,
yeah.
It's like an admitting defeat. You know, it's like, well, this guy is probably going to get like a multiple base hit. So we'd rather just give him, you know, it's the hack-a-shack, you know, like, we'll just give you this. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
Right. Or like the intentional delay of game penalty for better field goal position.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Hate that.
And why? Because it slows the game down. I guess actually that's interesting. Like all of what intentional delay of game, intentional walk, intentional foul. You're stopping play for like legal, you know, rule-based reasons. You're stopping play.
Yeah, but I mean, it doesn't really matter in baseball because it's not timed.
Because it's not time-based, right? How do you feel about play review, though?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I don't like it either.
Yeah, it's like, you know, I hate the umpire, but I love screaming at the umpire when they make a bonehead call.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes a little bit of that power out of my hands if they get to then go and, like, watch the replay, you know? I mean, what's the point of having an umpire at all?
Right.
If you're going to just have a freaking, you know, punching bag for angry, drunk fans.
And I think that's one thing that we've established, that, you know, if there's one job that can actually literally be replaced by computers, it's an umpire.
Right.
You don't need an umpire. The purpose of the umpire is to have a human there that you yell at for getting the play wrong.
Right. And then, like, also, you know, what's going to happen? Like, all of a sudden, we're not going to have, you know, coaches getting kicked out of the game for, like...
For kicking dirt! What happens if we lose kicking dirt?
Right. What's going to happen?
Yeah.
That's not even baseball at all.
No.
Yeah.
Or that guy who stole third base and threw it like a grenade. That was cool.
Yeah. That's the manager of the Mariners now. He was with the Pirates then, but he's with the Mariners now. It's that same guy.
That's why they're doing so well.
He pulled second base out and then just walked away with it. He's like, no, I'm taking this. Gets kicked out of the game, steals the base, goes into the clubhouse.
All right, we got 2 minutes.
I feel like the manager exploding at the ump is a really important part of baseball.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. I would agree with that. Yeah.
It's super entertaining, one. And, like, you know, if a team is kind of playing lackadaisically or they're not playing very well,
together,
it kind of, like, establishes that the manager is willing to, like, go to bat for them, so to speak. No pun intended, you know?
Good fun, but
and it's just, like, a glorious thing to see two, you know, fat men with chicken legs kicking dirt at each other.
Hey, it gets the fans into it. Yeah, it's part of the spectacle.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The fans too.
Yeah, if you had if your team's down 8-0 in the bottom of the 7th, the top of the 7th, and your guy gets caught stealing second, you want your manager to go out there and, like, yell and flip out and kick some dirt. Yeah, that's a good call.
Yeah. But that's not going to happen. You know what I mean? It's no longer going to happen because it's already happening where umpires are just automatically calling people safe if it's a, like, close play.
If it's close,
because then they could be like, you know, oh, I can go to the video replay, you know, and, or, you know, like, you know, the team who has a guy up in the booth upstairs whose job is just to, like, tell the manager when to challenge plays.
Yeah.
So the umpire is already not doing his job because he's just taking the easy answer and just waiting to go to the video replay, which is stupid.
No, I think you're onto something there. That's it.
Yeah.
That's okay. So and we're running out of time. We got to wrap up. But at a later date, we need to get back to this concept of time. Because I'm more of an NBA guy, right?
Right.
And in the NBA, it's all about time, and you want the officials' review because if he got the shot up in 0.2 of a second or not, that fucking matters.
Right.
But that's because it's a time-based sport.
Right.
As opposed to baseball, which is not a time-based sport.
Right. It's based on emotion.
Yeah. Diamonds.
Hatred of the umpire.
Yeah.
That's like a pillar of baseball, I think, is like, hating the umpire.
Right.
They're taking that away from us, Joel. That's all I'm saying.
Right, I hear you. Yeah, take a drink.
All right, what do we got for time?
Oh, well, 2 minutes over, so we should...
We want to do quick, rapid-fire teams we don't like and why?
Yes.
Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first. I gotta hate on the Cubs. They're kicking ass right now, which whatever, and they've got Theo Epstein, but a rich team from a rich city that hasn't won a World Series in I don't know, like 500 years, something like that.
Yeah, a long time.
Like they complain a lot, bitch, moan, lose to the Cardinals.
All right, Tampa Bay Rays because they were the Devil Rays and now they're just the Rays, which I think is stupid. Also, they have like the worst ballpark in the majors.
That's a good one. Atlanta Braves. I'll hate on the Atlanta Braves because they were good in the 90s, and I feel this is not based on any fact that they were good in the 90s because they were on TNT. Because TNT and TBS were in Atlanta. So all their games were always, like growing up, every Atlanta Braves game was on national TV because of TNT, TBS. Also, they are building their new stadium purposefully away from public transportation.
Right, to keep the poor people away.
To keep the poor people away. The black people away. Black people! Yeah. So, I'll hate on Atlanta for that one.
Yeah, all right. LA Angels?
Oh, okay. Why?
Multiple reasons. Used to be the Anaheim Angels. I'm pretty sure they haven't moved since they were called the Anaheim.
Yeah, there's a story about that, yeah.
They're kind of the West Coast Yankees, and every time that they beat the Red Sox, my Southern California cousin gives me a text message just to make sure that I didn't miss it.
That sucks. All right, I'll go. Let's each do one more.
Okay.
This is a tough one. I've got a couple teams I'm thinking of, but I'm gonna go with the San Diego Padres.
Oh, okay.
And here's why. I've been to San Diego, and I really like San Diego. I think it's a cool goddamn city. I think it deserves a better baseball team than the San Diego Padres.
Right.
The other thing, I don't like their camo uniforms.
Oh, okay.
Like, I get it. San Diego's like a Navy town, like it's a military city. I get that. But they're like, every other game, they're coming out in their like camo uniforms. And baseball, to me, makes the least amount of sense to play in fatigues and camo uniforms.
All right. Yeah. Well, that it's a support our troops thing, dude. You be careful. You're on dangerous ground there.
Yeah, that's. I don't like that. I don't like they're going for that demographic.
Yeah.
All right, give me one more team.
All right, my go.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go with Texas Rangers.
Oh yeah.
This is kind of an interesting one because I don't really give a shit about the Texas Rangers in general, but when I first started to really dislike Alex Rodriguez. It's when he got that monster contract.
Yeah.
Moved over, was a horrible, that's when it came out that he was this horrible douchebag.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's just I haven't liked them because of that.
That's a good call. I did like their manager, Washington.
Ron Washington?
Ron Washington, yeah.
Yeah, the crackhead.
Yeah, who got them to the World Series.
Yeah, I know. I like him too.
Yeah.
I'm really into it. I just know that he was arrested for smoking crack at one point.
Yeah, yeah. And he had to, I think he had to actually quit it.
Maybe it was cocaine.
I think it was cocaine, but yeah. And this is something we should talk about in further episodes, though. When Jesse is here, unfortunately, Jesse's not here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I hope a bear steals his beer out of his tent.
A-Rod leaves Seattle to Texas to New York. Right? Randy Johnson. Didn't Randy Johnson pitch for Seattle?
Yep.
Yeah.
Seattle, and then Arizona, and then New York, I think.
Yeah. So this pipeline out of Seattle into, like, the big money.
Oh, yeah.
I think.
Yeah. You know, it goes both ways too, though. I feel like a lot of good players go to die in Seattle. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And then what are they going to do with Felix Hernandez? He is like one of the greatest pitchers of all time on a mediocre baseball club.
Yeah. Well, it's funny actually. I forget who I was watching. I was watching a Mariners, maybe it was Mariners Red Sox game. I can't remember, but somebody was talking about how they say that there's not going to be any more 200-game winners, and that Felix Hernandez could have been one if the Mariners were any good, because he started pitching when he was 19 in the majors, and he's pretty much been the best right-handed starter in the American League since then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, wins don't matter statistically, but the guy deserves.
200 wins is a big one, though.
200 wins, yeah.
Yeah. And, he wins like 10, 14 games a year. He's like 10, 12, or like 14 and 16 because his team
Because his team's not, but that's why wins is not a reflection of, like, how good you are.
Right, but it'd be cool to have a 200-game winner.
Yeah.
Another one.
Okay, let's sign off. What are your closing thoughts? Yeah, good closing thoughts.
Closing thoughts. Well, I don't know. If anyone wants to send us questions of things that we want to talk about or they want us to talk about in the next episode, leave it in the comments section of the WordPress blog or on Twitter. Think about those warm-up songs.
Hey, are you going to write about rooting for your team when they're not in the race?
Yeah, I started working on that today.
Yeah, if you want to talk about that.
It's kind of tough, though, but we should talk about that.
I think that'd be an interesting thing to talk about, because that's something I'm thinking about now, too. You want to root for your team, but, they're not going to get to the playoffs.
Right, but also baseball is, a bigger thing than just your team.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
The Red Sox haven't really been competitive at all this year, and I still am watching baseball. You know what I mean? I'm still following scores and, stats and everything. I haven't paid attention to my fantasy baseball team in a little while.
That's a different story.
That's a whole different scenario entirely,
Yeah. Good stuff. This has been good. When the month changes to September, we're going to talk about some football.
Yeah, we're going to start transitioning into doing some football.
Yeah.
And then, see how it goes.
Yeah.
With basketball. It's not my strong suit.
Yeah, no, basketball is still ways off. Basketball is not till November. And we'll still talk about football then. Here's a quick thing, and then we got to go because we're 10 minutes over now. We were talking about the dark period of sports in the calendar. American sports And if we want to talk about soccer, we can talk about soccer, but I don't understand soccer at all.
I mean, I understand soccer. I just don't understand why people like it. That's all.
Right, but I understand why we like watching it, but like American
I like
sports.
Soccer. I've never liked watching soccer.
American sports is a calendar, right?
Yeah, it's like the Mayan calendar.
It's like a Mayan calendar. It's the changing of the seasons every day, right?
Yeah.
And you go from baseball to football to basketball to baseball. And some people watch hockey and they're weird.
Yeah.
And like, then there's soccer, which just goes all year round.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. It's not, I don't know. I just feel like every time I watch soccer, I kind of wish I was playing soccer. And I'm bored,
Yeah.
I think that it'd be fun to like go to a sweet soccer match in like South America or like somewhere where they really care about soccer. You know what I mean? I think that would be fun. But like watching soccer on TV doesn't do it for me. No. Not even a little bit.
Yeah. All right, cool. All right, well, thanks for listening. We're going to log off now.
People made it this far. Thank you for listening.
It's been a long drag, but we did a good job.
Yeah.
We're going to go bully Jesse into being here next week.
Also, if anyone wants to leave really nasty comments for Jesse on Twitter or on the WordPress blog, you should do that too.
Yes.
Yeah. Straight up.
All right.
Yeah.
Dump on the ump. Cool.